So we are now going to be calculating cash flow in perpetuity. Cash in perpetuity. Cash flow in perpetuity, we have it, they said from up to year 4, we are certain. And from year 4 onward, they said it's going to be the same thing. Let me look at the question they said. They said in year 4 and into this foreseeable future. So it's not growing at a particular rate. They said in the third year, 3 million and 4 million in year 4 and subsequent year. So everything we expect into the foreseeable future from year 5 will now be brought to the present value in year 4. And that is going to be what? This future cash we're expecting multiplied by times 1, times 1 divided by what is the discount rate? The discount rate is 14%, which is 0.14 divided by 0.14. And that is it. We have been able to calculate the cash flow into perpetuity here. So therefore, if we are now summing up the net cash flow again, total cash flow, total cash flow, we're now going to be having this again sum up to 6 million. And if I drag this down, it sums up to everything. Everything must end this time at the end of year 4, because that is the projection that the company has done. So what do we do next? We now do the discounting factor, DCF, at what rate? At 14%. At 14%. So what is the discounting factor at 14% for year 0? We know it's usually 1, but you can see how it is calculated. Equals to 1 divided by 1.14, 1.14, which is 1 plus R, raised to power 0. So I can just pick raised to power here if I want to. So it's going to be 1. If I drag it down, it calculates discounting factor for each year to the nearest 4 decimal or 3 decimal places. So I can then now have the present value. The present value, which is the PV of cash flow of cash. The present value of cash is now going to be this multiplied by this, that is 6 million times the discounting factor. And that is what we have here, 6 million times discounting factor. I can drag that down and take it to the nearest 2 decimal places, or just that. So since we have that now, what we are now going to be adding is now to look at the net present value, net PV, net present value, which is going to be the sum of all these. So we usually put it here, equals to sum, and then we sum all of these together as a net present value, close it, and we have it. So this is the net present value. And so if we are saying how much, the question says, what is the maximum price that roofing company should offer to acquire the whole of trade? The maximum price, the maximum price that roofing should pay is, how much have we calculated? 13 million, 822 million, 822,000. So that is it, 13.822 million. So that's the net present value. You know how we calculate this. These are the things we did at the beginning, learning about discounted cash flow. At the beginning of this course, you can go back and watch the videos. You do your capital allowances. There is no complication in this one. Your capital allowance is an additional cash flow. However, your tax expense is paid on the profit for each year, and then you calculate the total like that. And then this one that is into the foreseeable future, that is at the end of year 4, they were able to see that in year 5, they will make the same thing as they made in year 4. And so that year 5 is the one that will be made perpetually. And that will be brought here by just multiplying it with 1 and dividing it by the discount factor. And then we arrive at the value that the company should place. So roofing should value trade at 13.8 million. That should be the maximum price they are willing to pay if they must acquire